Hello everyone, I am Dead Knight and this is In It to Win It. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave respectful comments on all my videos. Today I want to talk about Druid in Standard in Season 88 right now. So Druid is actually about to get some nerfs. We've just had it announced in a couple days, but even still, this video I think is still going to be relevant because of just the general topics of deck building in Hearthstone. So there are two archetypes in Druid in Standard right now. One is the token Druid, which is going to win games by some really abusive early turns with Gibberling and or with Glowfly Swarm to put a ton of minions on the board and then buff them out of their minds using Arbor Up, the Dark Rune Races card for buff, or it's going to use Pride's Fury, which is also going to give some pretty significant buffs, and it's going to do it with Lightning Bloom to cheat these things out super early, and also with Innervate to cheat these things out super early. So what you're looking at with Druid is, in this archetype, it's like a turn, as early as turn one, really, but turn two, three, or four, blowing the game open with a massive swing turn that just has too much value to be overcome that early in the game, and that's why this deck is getting nerfed. So before we talk about the nerf and the merits of that, how did we get here? How does the deck get to be that abusive? And it comes with the cards that Blizzard is putting out for Druid right now, which is absolutely no mitigation for Druid whatsoever. Druid has no way to reasonably fight for the board without mana cheating. You look at the other archetype that Druid has, which is Big Spell Druid. Again, it's going to use ramp to either wild growth or more importantly overgrowth to get extra mana crystals early in the game, and then once again Lightning Bloom out something extremely large. The current popular pick for that is Guardian Animals to get out some mid-range beasts that can take control of the board. Otherwise, it is, if you get really lucky into Primordial Protector and have an extra turn to play out some more large spells and large minions. But none of these things by themselves is taking control of the board. Druid has absolutely no defensive play in the early or mid game without mana cheating. So obviously they mana cheat. So either with the tokens at the beginning, or with guardian animals, or carnival clowns at the end. So people get really frustrated with this because it leads to a lot of, as Blizzard says, non-games. These one-sided games where it doesn't matter what your opponent plays. You just play your game as Druid and fill the board with monster minions at various stages of the game, and either your opponent has some sort of miraculous full board clear to beat you, or they don't. But the way we got here is that Druid has no other options to play the game right now. Their only option is massive swing turns and mana cheating. So if you look at what's in the token Druid decks, the only defensive card, which is arguably not even defensive, that they play is Lunar Eclipse. Lunar Eclipse for 2 mana deals 3 damage, and then your next spell this turn costs 2 less. So if it didn't let you play multiple spells for Gibberling, people might not even be running Lunar Eclipse. In fact, when I was running this build earlier, I cut Lunar Eclipse for just some more aggressive cards, because why not? The only way you win is with a massive swing turn, so why even bother with the defensive element of this deck? So before Blizzard thinks about nerfing a deck like this, what they really should be thinking of is, why is this deck just so headlong offensive? It's because there's no more swipe anymore, which even by itself has some offense to it. But there's no way for any reasonable Druid to run some sort of spell to help them take control of the board. You've got Bog Beam, which you can't use until 7 mana. You got Lunar Eclipse, which is really only used to pump Gibberling, and that's it. So Blizzard has kind of cornered itself into this situation where they made Druid untenable to play any real Hearthstone games, and now they're punishing them with nerfs. What they really should be doing is rewarding them with some better deck building designs and putting some removal spells in the game for Druid. You know, they had the opportunity to do that with Wailing Caverns, and instead we got even more abusive combo style cards in the form of a beast that whenever you play a nature spell gives you 4/2 rush minions, but the beast costs 8 mana. So again, you have to mana cheat to get this early enough in the game for it to be impactful. And ultimately, nobody ran it because if they have to wait until they have 8 mana, they might as well just be running guardian animals. So, you know, the card design here for Druid has really pigeonholed them into playing these bizarre decks that rely heavily on these crazy value swing turns, and so it should be no wonder why we see these ridiculous Druid decks. So, like I said, I was running Token Druid for a while this season. I made it to rank 1 and ultimately decided to switch it out for a different deck because I didn't like relying on these swing turns. I wanted some consistency. I wanted to be able to know how games were going and not have it rely on, you know, the first 2 turns of like, did I draw good? You know, did I Fungal Fortunes away both my Gibberlings, or do I get a chance to actually play the game? So don't blame Druid, blame Blizzard on this one. Hopefully the next set that comes out has some good Druid spells that give them some options in deck building, and just think about, you know, what you can do as a Druid to play other than these silly builds that are out right now. So what do you think of this analysis? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of Druid right now? What do you think they need to be competitive and have real decks built again? Leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time.